Welcome to part two of the three-part article on yes, the Lehigh Valley does have a poetry and spoken word scene. Part one dealt with the high points and gave you reasons, some great reasons why you should at least attend one. Also, here's another reason. They're all coffee house, art exhibit. Check out. You have a chance to check out other aspects of the local scene while you're there. Okay, that officially ends part one. Part two, the downside to it and the low points. This mainly has to do with more if you're living here in the area than if you're visiting. If you're visiting, chances are you'll get a chance to check out one of them, anywhere from one time to however many times you visit the area. So this has to do more with if you live in Lehigh Valley and attend multiple. One of the main low points here is, like I said in part one, I've attended these over the past 2 years. It seems like that there are only, for the most part, there are only a few people that really organize these things, mainly because the scene is really underground here, from what I can tell, and from my knowledge. So, and if you go to more than one or two, you will start noticing where the same people are featured over and over and over again. And that part alone does have a tendency to get repetitious, and actually you may be different, but it stands a much higher chance of turning you off because, okay, it's like a cover. Okay, to put it in, I'm most familiar with music. To put it in terms of, make a comparison. It's like if you see a cover band once, like 3 times, and all of a sudden, all 3 times, by the 4th time, you know exactly what song they're playing. 15 minutes left in their 3rd set. Okay, so it's kind of like the same main people, it's the same small group of people over and over and over again. Okay, and I'm not saying this because I've never been one of those people. I could care less. Okay, I go there to grab video clips and to show you, no matter where you live in this world, hey, guess what? This is also part of the Lehigh Valley. I'm saying this because you'll notice it. Okay. Another low point is, even though the poets do mix it up, and I took notice that they start 2014 that they are starting to really mix it up. At times, you hear the same poems over and over. I don't care if it's a day in between. I attended 2 back-to-back this weekend, or a month in between. Another low point. And I realized that, okay, not every poet will have a stage performance or crowd interaction. But a lot of times, you're just, look back at the history of poetry and think about it's stereotypical, where you go in, you stand, you sit, you listen to them, bam. Now, there are exceptions here. Danielle Notaro, please check out her book on Amazon, Lynn the Mask. Check out my review. She is a local author. She will literally walk up to you while she's reading and try her best to make you experience it. I see Matt Wolf do that on occasion, depending on the size of the room. Okay, Cleveland Wall has done that on occasion. But it's, when I go out to poetry, above it, almost anything else, any other art form, is, at least to me, meant to be felt and experienced versus just sitting there and watching. Poetry is, if you write it from your heart and your life experience, it's meant to have other people not only visualize it, but also feel it, to be able to relate to it, not only through listening to it, but also through watching you and becoming a part of that poem and that person's life and experience and emotion. Again, there are exceptions. I have seen this happen, but I don't see it happen more times than I do. A lot of times I see people get up there, read, and I'm sitting there like, I mean, there have been times, honestly, last year, where I'm like on my phone, like, okay, half hour left, boom. Honestly, point blank, no bull, okay? So that is, I mean, I know maybe that's what poetry is supposed to be. Maybe I'm missing the point here. But when I go out to something like this, I want to experience it. I don't want to just sit there and watch it. If I wanted to just sit there and be like this, and then clap at the end, and then, okay, sort of do the cool socializing thing, talk to people I know, meet new people before, during the break, and after. You know what? I'd buy or download a free poetry book on Amazon and do a review of it, honestly. So, it's something that this year it seems to be changing a little bit, but it needs to evolve in this area. Another low point, and I have seen this change this weekend, okay, especially at the Quadrant Bookmark and Coffee House for the Upcycle Masterpieces poetry reading. But in addition to the same people being featured, you see a lot of the same crowd where, and you see this no matter where you go. You have your core group of people, but with the exception of the Quadrant, I pretty much know a lot of people are going to show up, okay? And when you do poetry, in all honesty, especially in today's world and society, you are fighting one hell of an uphill battle. Okay, if you look up as far as the poetry books, unless you're an established author, book sales, you are fighting one of the hardest uphill battles that you will face in writing a book or writing in general. So it doesn't seem to be attracting a lot of new people, which this area has a wide variety of ethnicity. As I said in part one, there's a lot of colleges in the area. There's a wide range of age groups, so that is, and again, this is mainly for people who live in the area. But that is another low point for me where I could honestly skip about 2 or 3 of them. Bam. And just basically, okay, well, I didn't get a chance to make that one, and look down the list of people that are going to be there over and over again. Okay, that core group is great. Bands, artists, everybody has a core group of followers. But it doesn't seem to be attracting as many new people as it should. And again, it's one hell of an uphill battle. So those are the main low points. If I still, even in part 2, where I point out the low points, I would suggest at least going out and checking out these great poets. There's a lot of great writers and poets in the area. At least one time, whether you're visiting or live here, go out and experience it. And feel free to, if you see me out at one, feel free to come walk right up to me and say, you know what, Michael, you don't have the first clue as to what you're talking about. Like I said, maybe I'm totally off base here, but this is just from my own experience. Thanks for chatting. Make sure you check out part 1, the high points. Part 2, the low points is down. Part 3 is basically, okay, this is what I see that they could start. They could evolve a little bit. And in fact, actually, the conversation, one of the main organizers is Matt Wolf, and I had a conversation with him, I asked him something point blank. It's like, okay, why don't you do this? You really want to pack it and get people into this? Here's an idea for you. So, but that's for part 3. As always, thanks for checking this out. Every review and article, no matter what you do, is someone's opinion. At best, it's based on experience and criteria. Thanks for checking out the magazine. Thank you very much for your support. Make sure you check out Megan, Danny, and Carrie and everything that they do, and keep surprising myself and everybody else. And no matter where you live, to you, your family, and friends, seriously, please be safe tonight and always. Michael Phoenix, founder of Valley and Beyond. Later.